Hello, I'm David Chaston with 989, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, including news of a big Australian banking inquiry. In Sydney yesterday, David Murray's Financial System Inquiry has made its public recommendations, opposed by the major banks, to lift their funding requirements. The inquiry made two key proposals that may raise costs for the major banks by billions, potentially hitting profit margins and dividends. But it also assists smaller banks to compete. They concluded that Australia's major banks sit only middle of the road by international standards in the amount of capital they hold to cover potential loan losses. More than 28 billion Australian dollars may be needed to meet a safer standard. In reaching this finding, the FSI has expressly rejected research commissioned by the Australian Bankers Association that put Australia's banks at the top quarter of institutions globally. If the Australian government acts on these recommendations, there could well be implications for New Zealand, and the RBNZ will need to acknowledge, like its counterparts, that leverage at New Zealand banks is just too high to be safe in a crisis. In the US, their economy added 321 jobs in November, while the unemployment and participation rates were unchanged. The number of jobs created was well above analysts' forecasts of about 225,000. The numbers for October were revised higher. US employers have now added at least 200,000 jobs for 10 months in a row, the longest period of jobs growth in 20 years. Meanwhile, the US trade deficit narrowed in October, with exports, especially to China, rising faster than anticipated. This came despite a stronger US dollar. Back in New York, US Treasury 10-year bond yields rose at the end of the trading week last week and are now at 2.31%. The oil price starts this week at a low level, but pretty much unchanged from Friday. It is now $66 a barrel, and the Brent price is $69 a barrel. Big oil is starting to take an axe to its internal costs, but most others see gains in the lower pump prices. Gold is lower at $1,190 an ounce. The Kiwi dollar fell against the US dollar on the strong US jobs numbers, but we've held our own against most others. We start the week at 77 US cents, which is a whole cent down from this time on Friday, 92.8 Aussie cents, and the TWI is at 78.1. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.